to a brand new episode of Virtual Coffee, and happy 2023. My name is Alexa Collier, and on this podcast, I interview and chat with small business owners from around the world. Now, with me today is Kiersten, the founder and owner of Rescue Me Candle Company. Now, this company and business owner might sound familiar because Kiersten was first on Virtual Coffee in December of 2020. So to listen to her first episode where she explains all about her business, how she started the business, go to episode 35 of Virtual Coffee. Now, on this episode, Kiersten shares what has been going on with the business over the past 2 years. Rescue Me Candle Company has really grown, and she shares some of those great perspectives and learnings from the past 2 years. Rescue Me Candle Company is one of my favorite small businesses to support. I love her products, and Kiersten is always a pleasure to chat with, so I know you'll really enjoy this episode. Now, before we dive into it, as always, I'd appreciate if you could follow us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's all at Virtual Coffee Podcast. Feel free to also leave a rating and review for Virtual Coffee on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. It really helps us out and helps others discover the small businesses that we promote and support. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now let's hear from Kiersten and all about Rescue Me Candle Company. Welcome, Kiersten. Thank you so much for being back on Virtual Coffee.
Thank you for having me again. I realized I haven't talked to you since 2020. So a lot has changed in these 2 years. I'm excited to be back and talk about my company and to talk with you again. You've been so supportive. Awesome. So I appreciate all your support as well.
Of course. Yeah, it's been 2 years, almost exactly. Actually, it's probably been almost exactly since we recorded the episode 2 years, but it was launched December 22nd, 2020. So really almost 2 years to the date. We're recording this on December 18th. Yeah, just really looking forward to hearing all your updates. And, I follow you and we chat in the DMs every once in a while. And you are one of my favorite small businesses. Whenever folks ask me, just in my life of, I know you talk to small businesses, who do you recommend? I'm like, Rescue Me Candle Co. is always my number one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just love your business, love your products. Let's dive into it. Updates since 2 years ago. I know a lot has probably happened. Take us through it. And honestly, maybe before we get to the updates, if folks want to hear the ins and outs in the beginning of your business, they can go check out episode 35. But can you just give us like a 1 or 2 liner in your words what Rescue Me Candle Co. is in case folks haven't listened to that episode?
Of course. So Rescue Me Candle Company, I make soy-based, all-natural, non-toxic candles for your home, and I donate 20% of my proceeds to animal rescues. I really focus on local ones. We're based here in Cary, but Raleigh and the surrounding areas, Durham, everywhere. So I've donated to a lot of local rescues. And I love going to markets and people share, I adopted my dog from so-and-so. And then I write down that rescue. So I love learning about new ones to donate to. And that's really why I started the business back in 2018 when I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in Fairfax, Virginia. I'm a school counselor, so I'm in a helping profession, and it was just a way to give back more outside of my full-time job. But again, this is also another full-time job, I realized. So it's just a way for me to give back in another area, which I love. I love dogs. I have 2 golden retrievers. One is actually from Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue. His name is Luke, and our other one is Lola, our babies. So we are dog lovers, candle lovers. There's always a candle burning in our house. And I am known as the candle lady, the local candle lady. I'm kind of famous. I've been recognized in public. So
oh my gosh.
I'm known as the candle lady. So if you see me in public, don't be scared to say hi. You might recognize my face from stories or markets. And I love getting to know everyone. So that's a little backstory. I am the candle lady of Cary.
I love that. I love that title. That's crazy you were recognized. That's so awesome.
It literally made my day.
Yeah.
So much. And I've seen her twice. And
wow.
Lori, I'm giving you a shout out. I love you. I've seen her twice in public. One at Loft, I was checking out, and the second one was at Lowe's Foods. So
Nice. That's
and then
awesome.
I've seen, and people will come back to my markets, and I literally recognize their face, like if I don't know their name. Some people I've become friends with that buy my candles, like I recognize them when they're coming up to my booth. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen you before. So I have my loyal people come back. So I've appreciate it so much.
Awesome.
It's a community of like dog loving, candle loving people like me. And I'm like, you are my people.
Yes, yes. That's incredible. Wow,
Yeah.
what a bucket list item to check off there of getting recognized. That's really awesome. And I
Yeah.
know we need to meet in person. I know always do my shopping online through your shop. I need to hit up one of the markets here soon. But yeah, this is a plug to go to Kiersten's Instagram. First of all, it's so, I think I said this last time, but the aesthetics are top notch. And then also her candles are all dog themed names. So they're so cute. So plug to go to the Etsy and her Instagram right now while you're listening and check out those products. Everyone I've gifted them to is like, oh my gosh, these are the best candles and the wax melt. So yeah, highly recommend as always.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah, of course. All right. Now let's get into the updates. Again, if folks want to learn more about just the business itself, go to episode 35. But where have you been, Kiersten, since 2020? What are kind of those big updates that come to mind? And then we can dig into some of them.
Yeah, so I think last time we talked, I had different jars. So I've kind of updated my aesthetic. I really went for the sleek black look. And if you visit my house, they definitely match my aesthetic. And I feel like they'll go with any decor that people have. They're very sleek. People have complimented my market table. They're like, I love the look of this. It's so like different, but it's very sleek and like welcoming. So I've done more of a black look. So I have the black tins, which are 8 ounce. I have the 16-ounce apothecary style jars, which are glass and they have the black lid. I also have the wax melts. Like you said, you love the wax melts. And they're paw print shaved, which are so cute. And they come in the sleek black packaging. And then another thing I've done is just, I used to have like the green, the black and white. I've really gone more towards black and white. That's just kind of how my style has evolved. And I just love that sleek look. And I wanted it to look good in any house, modern, farmhouse, any style that people have. I wanted my candles to really fit and look good in. So I'm really proud of the way my candles look and just even my market table and just my Instagram. Making reels has been a whole other struggle that I kind of dove in. And it's so funny. My friends follow me on Instagram and they like laugh at my videos. I'm like, I'm just trying, guys. This is the best that I can do.
Yep.
But Instagram is so tough. Like they keep changing the algorithm and I'm just trying to stay true to myself, but also be fun and follow, what they want so people can find my page and see it. Because people really do love what I post. Like I get compliments. They're like, oh my God, that's so funny. Or I love that. So I want everyone to see it. So it's frustrating with Instagram. But another thing I think that has changed is I've been in a lot of stores. So since 2020, Triangle Pop-Up has done some pop-up shops. So I was in Curate, which is in downtown Raleigh for a little bit. And then they've done their holiday markets. So I was in Park West in Morrisville last Christmas and I sold a lot of candles there. I was very successful. And then this Christmas, I'm in Crabtree Valley Mall, which is so cool. I never thought I'd be selling candles in a mall, but here we are. So Triangle Pop-Up has their holiday shop at Crabtree Valley Mall between Belk and Cheesecake Factory, which is super cool. And then I was in Bella and Mauve in downtown Apex. She does like a small business series. So you contract for like 2 months. So I was in there for a couple months, which was super awesome being in Apex. And her store is super cute. So yeah, I've just been in different stores, still selling on Etsy as always. And then markets picked back up since 2020, which is cool. So I've been seeing people in person again. So that is another change. And just new products. I didn't come out with any new fragrances this time around. I kind of kept my holiday scents from last year, but I have a new product and they're clear globe ornaments. The paw print, wax melts, and the 4-ounce candle are in the ornament. So they're really easy to gift. They're super cute. We can hang them on the tree. They're good stocking stuffers. So that was a new product I'm super proud of that I came out with. And it's so funny. I was at Box Yard for Triangle Pop-Ups Market, and I sold out within 50 minutes of the ornament. And so I called my husband, and I was like, so I was literally talking him through my candle office, which I know where everything is, but God love him. He was like, what am I grabbing? So I was like, okay, the ornament, the felt ribbon, the business cards, like going through all the ingredients per se. And I was like, can you bring me more? So I was literally making them at my market table as people were buying them. Such a good problem to have. I was like, this is awesome. People were really loving it. One lady bought like 10 at once, and she was like, I'm just small. So people, I'm telling you, it was a hit. So I'm proud of that product. But as far as, that was the update since 2020. That's all that's happening as far as my business goes.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of updates there. And yeah, you touched upon you changed the jars, and you're right. They do really go with any house, because even like your logo on the jar itself is nice. Like it's minimal, it's sleek, and I love that pop of that mint green, is if you would describe that as, that's one of your branding colors. It goes so well, and it's unique branding. You don't see that pop of that minty color in a lot of honestly, a lot of brands in general, but also a lot of candle companies. So yeah, I love that. And yeah, those ornament ones are awesome. Are they in the Crabtree pop-up shop? Do you sell the ornament ones in there?
I do. They're hanging on the wall. So
nice. Okay.
If you've seen my pictures, their candles are on the shelves, and then right above, they're hanging on the wall. They're in there.
Perfect. I'm asking selfishly because I'm going on Friday, and I think that's going to be my white elephant gift.
Yes. Yeah, they're so good. And they're right when you walk in on the right, if you're coming in from the outside. Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. You're in stores, and it just seems you're really naturally growing the business. I always see on your social media you going to new markets, and it seems like you're really like hustling. I don't love that word, but you're always at the markets, you're always promoting your business. Has that balance changed at all? Because I know you're still you still have your counselor job, correct?
Yeah, I'm still a full-time school counselor for Wake County Public Schools. The balance has definitely, I'll be honest, it's definitely a struggle during the holiday season. My body definitely burnt out. I had the flu like 3 weeks ago, and then I just got a cold last week. So it's my body telling me, Kiersten, you're overworking, but that's just my personality. Like, I'm a very driven person. I'm always looking at the next goal I want to set and reach. That's just me. So my body's definitely telling me to slow down. So my last market was yesterday. So I'm finally on that like downward trend of relaxing. Thankfully, it's been a lot. I mean, working 40 hours a week and supporting the kids at school. And it's definitely, I mean, this is not candle related, but at school, you definitely see the effects of the pandemic, and just the social emotional needs of the kids has definitely increased. So the stress and the pressure at work has increased, So when I get home and I'm making candles, it is therapeutic, but then it's also, I have to think, and I have to plan, and I have to make sure I have all my supplies and prep for markets and get my Etsy orders out. Like, I'm very particular on getting them out quick. I love having short shipping times. So I put that stress on myself, which I really don't need to, but I always want to get my orders out quick. So I'm like, okay, when I get home, I have this many candles to make. And another update is I bought an industrial grade wax melter. So now, instead of baking candles in my kitchen, which I talked about last time, my poor husband, he was like, can I make dinner, or are you going to be making candles? So now he can do everything in the house while I'm in the garage, which is not heated or AC. So I'm like in my Uggs. It's like 40 degrees in the garage.
Yep.
But I have my table set up out there. I have my industrial grade wax melter. So making candles is definitely easier now and faster, which I appreciate. And it's definitely been way more helpful. So I'm thankful that I invested in that, because Honestly, I don't want to know how stressed I would be if I was still making candles in my kitchen. So that was definitely a purchase that I am very thankful for. So yeah, I think just balancing the two is definitely a struggle in the holiday season. I do most of my sales between October and December, and I know that. But there's just so much you can plan for. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're just everyone during the holiday season. I'm like, I just want to sit down and enjoy my tree. Like I just want to sit in
Yep.
my chair in front of the fireplace that we never use because it's always hot here. So I finally can do that. But then again, like I said, I love this. So
Yeah.
it's a tough battle. Like I don't want to say that I'm so overwhelmed, but it is hard. And I think every small business owner will say that. Even if it's your full-time job, it's still overwhelming regardless.
For
So
sure.
I want to be honest, but then I'm also very thankful. So it's like that twofold. I'm very, very thankful for the support and how much money I can donate back to animal rescues, but it's hard to balance two full-time jobs. So yeah, I think that's the long answer to your short question.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty. I mean, looking at just following you on social media, you'd think Rescue Me Candle Co. was your full focus, like truly. And I mean that as a compliment. It's
Thank you.
really impressive the amount of time you dedicate to the business while having that 40-hour week job that I also know you're very passionate about. It is very impressive. I mean, I know firsthand, and I always say the podcast, I'm not even selling anything, right? So I can adjust, if I need to say, hey, can we, to a guest, like, oh, can we, push this episode out? I just need more time this week. Or, it's usually not a problem. It's not like I'm selling a product that customers are relying me on. I mean, in a way, yes, like I can't not be consistent with publishing, but it's a little different. And even with the podcast, it's hard balancing that. And I think to your point, I like how you emphasize, it's what you love and it's what you're passionate about, but also, yeah, you burn out and it's hard. And I think as you were getting to any job, there's the things that make it a blast, are easy to do. You look forward to it. And then there's the pieces where you're like, man, really don't want to do this right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for me, it's editing the episodes. That's one thing that, because I already had the conversation, I need to listen to it again. It's like, oh man, I just wish I could just publish this unedited, but it's just something, a part of the job that I need to do. So yeah, it's a
I
good,
appreciate that. Well,
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
I give my all in both, and
Mm-hmm.
not to toot my own horn again, but I did win in June of this year. I won School Counselor of the Year for Wake County Public Schools, and then
Nice.
in October I won School Counselor of the Year for the state of North Carolina. So I'm definitely, that school counseling is definitely a passion of mine, and I give my all there, and then I come
Yeah.
home and give my all to the candle company. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely giving my all to both, which is hence the burnout. But then I love both. Like I said, like I got awarded for that, and I'm awarded for my hard work. But when I donate, like donation day is such a big and fun, exciting thing for me because it's like I see my hard work and how it's impacting the doggies and the cat.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
both are very rewarding. So I'm very thankful that I get to do two jobs that fill my heart, but also give back to the community. And that's just who I am. Like that's why I do the things that I do.
For sure. No, and congratulations on that award. That's awesome. It shows your hard work and passion right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible. Realistically, is your day during the work day, do you come home, work on the candles, and then go to bed? Honestly, just asking for, I think it's helpful when business owners just give us that glimpse and are like, hey, this is my reality. And I'm just curious what your typical Monday through Friday looks like.
So if I have a lot of orders, so what it usually looks like is I'll get home like 4:35.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make candles for 3 hours, and then they have to
Wow.
cure and set. So around 7 o'clock, I'll be done. And then I'll either eat dinner then, probably eat dinner then, or I eat while I'm making candles. Like I'll come inside, make something, eat it, and then go back out in the garage. And then the next day, once the candles cure, then I go back out, I trim the wicks, I put the lids on, I label them, and then I either carry them upstairs to my candle office or I leave them in the garage if I have a market coming up. So it really depends. If they're just to stock for my Etsy, I have to carry them
Mm-hmm.
all upstairs, which is it's only a 2-level house, but they're very heavy when you fill them with wax. So I either take them upstairs or I leave them downstairs for the market, so it's easy to load the car from the garage. And then if I'm mailing them out, then I have to wrap them, pack them, get the label, like plug in my computer, print the label, tape up the box, and then schedule a pickup for the post office. So I love my postman. Shout out. He's really awesome. I gift him a gift. Don't worry, every Christmas. He'll be getting a candle. And then he will come and pick up the packages from my porch. What stinks is if I forget to schedule it and then like I don't get home, till 5, and then the post office is closed, then it puts the packages another day. So honestly, it's like a 2 to 3 day process to get candles out. So it is a lot. If I have that's if I have a lot of orders, and I'll do like candle making days where I'll prep and just make so many candles. So I'm not doing that every day, but I would say every week. I would say 3 days out of every week I'm doing something during the holiday season. Yeah.
That's impressive. It goes back to, I think, this one podcast I listen to always says that people always say, "Oh, I would never have time to do that." And they're like, "Well, how long do you spend on your phone every day? How long do you watch TV every day?" Right? Like, it's just using the time that you have. And it's clear that you found, again, balance isn't the right word, but you found an efficient way to use your time. And like you say, 3 days at least out of the week, you're working on candles till what, 7, 8 p.m. And then, but that's what you want to do to look at the results, right, of doing that. And it just goes to show, like, you have full control of your time, and it really is what you want to do with it. And I think you're a great example.
Less Real Housewives. Love Real Housewives. I love all the series. So watching that less, that's like my guilty. And Below Deck. My husband and I watch Below Deck all the time. We're obsessed. So those are the 2 shows that I love. And then tons on Netflix. But yeah, less time watching that, less time on the phone, scrolling. It's more, honestly, if I'm on my phone, I'm posting for my candle company. So it's less fun. I don't even use my personal account anymore. I solely use Rescue Me Candle Company, and I'll have like my group chat with my friends through Rescue Me Candle Company now. So I don't even use my personal one. I couldn't manage both. Like, so now I don't even use my personal Instagram. It's all Rescue Me Candle Company.
I agree with that. I've gotten to that place too. Like, some, new friends that we meet will follow me on my personal account. I'm like, don't follow me there. I don't even update on there.
Yes, same. I haven't opened it in, oh my God, 3 years. I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of going back to the updates, but let's look forward now. So in 2023, any big plans that you want to share, anything coming up in the year, or even just goals that you have that you want to accomplish with the company? Anything you want to share when you look forward to 2023?
Yeah, I think for me, my sales, they definitely slow down in the summer. And I mean, we travel a lot. I'm off in the summer for the school system. We get that summer break. So we definitely try and travel, but I'm also home. So I want to come up with ways to increase my sales in the summertime. Because, candles are cozy, they're giftable. I definitely, like I said, I do most of my sales October through December and even after. So I would really say October to February. So I'm thinking of how can I increase, or what products would people love in the summertime? So that's something that I'm brainstorming and thinking of for 2023. Another thing is I just want to keep putting my candles in stores. I think it's super fun for people to smell them in person, and see them and touch them and feel them. Selling on Etsy, I really have to describe the scents because people can't smell it and they don't really know, which is why I came up with a sample pack to try and help that for Etsy. So I have the sample pack that's all 4 or all 3 of the seasonal scents in one box. And then another thing is just for 2023 is coming up with just new products. I don't want to keep changing my scents because people really do love them. I might discontinue some that maybe didn't do well, but I love coming up with the product and just changing the way I sell things and doing more markets. Last time we talked was 2020 and I wasn't doing any markets, and doing markets that I do well. Like you said, I really want to protect my time, and just being honest, some markets I don't do well at, and sometimes it's hard to predict that, but spending 4 hours of my Saturday when I don't, I want to spend time with my husband and my dogs and my friends. So I really try and choose markets that I know will do well to protect my time. Because the weekend, really, I mean, like I said, I work 40 hours a week during the week. So the weekend is my settle down and relax time. But I usually spend them the Saturdays or Sundays at markets for 4 hours or 5 hours if you count set up and take down. So really being intentional about the markets I do. And I started doing that this year. I really tried to do markets I knew I've done well in the past and locations that do well. And that's just strategic business strategies. Yep. But yeah, I think 2023, just continue that, like you said, that hustle and try and naturally build my business. I thought about doing Etsy and my own website. So I've already bought the domain. So I own rescuemecandleco.com. I just haven't built a website yet. So that's something that I'm scared of, and I know I should just do it. But I struggle with, Etsy. It brings in some of my sales, and it's scary, building a website and just having that vulnerability and that it's very scary. I know it shouldn't be, but so I have the domain. I just haven't built a website. So maybe in 2023, I will kind of venture into that. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm doing for 2023. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. For sure.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, back to those you said you wanted to up sales in the summer. Didn't you have the citronella candles, right? I think that that right there is a great start because those are for like the mosquitoes, right, outside.
Yep, and it's 3 wicks, so it's pretty big, and it has the lid so you can keep it outside. So the citronella, I have the koozies, and I don't know, I might do a different design on the koozie. I don't know, but I love having the koozies for the summer. I'll bring it. We go to Sunset Beach, North Carolina a lot. So I'll bring the koozies in the summer. I'll leave them in our cooler. So I have those. Like you said, the citronella. And I have my summer scents. So I have like strawberry schnauzer, blueberry beagle. So I have in like golden lava is very fruity. So I have my fruity scents, but just upping the sales, I think, in the summer. But yeah, I have the product. It's just getting it out there. And I think doing more markets. But in North Carolina, it gets so hot in the summer.
Yeah, it does.
So honestly, one of the things that I struggle with is my candles melt. And and the heat. So it's honestly kind of hard to do markets in the summer because then because if I move them and then the wax, like, it hardens in a different shape, and then my candles get ruined. And plus, if it melts and then it moves in the bag, if someone buys it, it's messy. So I struggle with summer. So that's one of the things that I want to think about and kind of strategize on how can I do markets without them melting. Yeah.
That is a good point. That is a tough one. I'm thinking like, how would you solve that? I guess like coolers, but then you're selling candles out of coolers.
Yeah. It just gets so hot here. Like, I joke. I'm like, I am so tired of sweating all day long.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, I know October is sometimes hot. I'm like, I have been sweating constantly since April.
Yeah,
I feel you there. Yeah.
No, but that makes sense for your plans. And you mentioned Etsy and creating your own site. And yeah, I think your feelings around that are very valid and make sense. And I always like to ask, because you do use Etsy, I don't know if it'd be advice or thoughts there for any other small business owners listening who are considering Etsy or considering leaving Etsy. Maybe just what has your experience been with Etsy? I've heard differing points of view, and just curious what you would say about Etsy to a fellow small business owner.
So Etsy is really nice because it basically does it all for you, and it's easy to create products because you can copy, and then all that information just goes over. Let's say you have like multiple scents of the same style. It's super easy that way. And people can, if you do the keywords, so I think keywords are key in each listing, and making sure they're popular ones that are searched, and you put those in your listing so they pop up when people search certain things. But they have increased their fees, and I mean, fees are everywhere. In Square, at markets, huge fees. Patreon, I started a subscription box. There's fees there. Just fees are everywhere, and it stinks, but it's part of the business. And I've contemplated, not doing Etsy, but then again, it's just so easy, and people can find me there. If you have your own website, people can search Google, but they're not, searching one database and you pop up,
Right.
You're kind of on your own. So Etsy is a great way for people to find you. And I mean, shipping, I won't even get into shipping, but calculating shipping and just that shipping regardless, I think is always a struggle for us. And what stinks is candles are so heavy. So I always want to offer free shipping, but oh my gosh, they're just so heavy that it stinks, you know. But I offer the cheapest rates for shipping that I can. You know, I try and calculate and kind of put in the little calculations and everything to try and make sure it's the lowest I can get it. But I also offer local pickup. So if people message me like, I'm in Cary, I don't want to pay for shipping, can I just, I was like, okay, like I'll leave the bag at my mailbox and you can just come and grab it. So people can just message me if they want to do that to save. But like I said, I try and keep it minimal, but Etsy's pretty good. You just have to prepare for the fees and make sure you put the price of your product to make sure you aren't losing money, because you just need to calculate, because I think it's 20 cents for each product, and then they take a percentage. I think it's 3%.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what they take.
Yeah.
They take a pretty good chunk of fees every time. So
that's a good perspective. I think that's helpful for, you know, like I said, anyone contemplating about Etsy is just, I mean, to you, you know, the ease is almost worth it, and as long as you're aware of, right, the fees and what they're taking and how to strategize it. That makes sense. I know I'm kind of jumping around topics, but I wanted to get into, I don't know if we got too deep into it last time, but would love for you to describe the importance of the soy candles and them being non-toxic. Even I, you know, when I'm in stores and looking at candles, I'm like, is this a safe candle? How do I tell? So can you kind of walk us through that, of how the audience can know when they're buying a safe candle, and specifically what makes yours safe and better than maybe some of the better known like box store candle companies?
yeah, of course. So soy wax does not, I use 100% soy wax, and that's from US grown soybeans. They're locally sourced in the US, which I think is important. And then what I don't use is paraffin wax. So paraffin wax can cause a list of harmful side effects to your body. And a lot of stores, I think people don't realize, if the candles is soy blend, it still might have that paraffin wax. They just don't say it. So to you, you're like, oh, soy. So the consumer thinks, oh, it's totally healthy and natural, but it still has those harmful chemicals in there. They just aren't writing it on it. So they kind of trick you. Another thing is the fragrance oils can be really harmful to you too. So I use phthalate free, but I also use certified clean fragrance oils. So there's 5 main hazard groups that are not in my fragrance oils, like carcinogens, reproductive toxins, organ toxins, acute toxins, mutagens. So all these are just materials that either change your DNA of the cell, harming the cell, causing cancer, increasing the risk of birth defects, toxins that have like adverse effects on your organs. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. The type of chemicals that are hidden. And I'm just going to say, sorry, these companies, but like Bath and Body Works and Yankee Candle and even Target. I love Target. I am obsessed with Target, but they're cheap candles. Like, oh, it's $5. That's such a cute gift. I know you think it is, but you're literally gifting them something that is going to harm their body. So I think just being aware of these types of things, and I use soy wax, you know, certified clean fragrance oils, cotton wicks, you know, that sort of thing. I think just being conscious of what you're putting in your house and just taking those small steps to making sure that you get all these chemicals and keeping your house safe for not only you, but a lot of us have dogs. And I mean, we care about ourselves, but we all know our dogs are our family and our pets, and we love them like a child. So, I mean, and I was talking to a lady yesterday, and she was saying she had all those harmful candles in her house, and her dog started having seizures. And she's like, I haven't burned a candle in a year because I'm so nervous that was why. So she bought one of mine yesterday. She's like, I want a candle, but I'm just so nervous about, you know, harming my dog and even myself. So, I mean, my candles, like I said, I burn them in my house. I would never burn anything that would be harmful to me or my 2 dogs or my husband. So I love him too. Don't worry. So yeah, certified clean fragrance oil, soy wax, and just being conscious when you're buying candles. Like of course I want you to buy mine, but honestly, just be really careful. Look at the label. And even if it says soy blend, it's not 100% soy wax.
Yeah.
So they're tricking you and just being conscious when you read those labels.
Yeah, no, that's helpful. Thank you for explaining that. And I think that highlights the importance of shopping small, really for any product, because you as the owner, you can literally sit here and tell us exactly what goes into your products, right? Because you're not
Yeah.
making them in a factory where you visit that once a year. Yeah, I think that just highlights that importance and that makes sense. And to your point, it's protecting people, but like you said, the dogs, the cats, the little pets in our house, babies, anything like that. Because I think it's easy for people to think, oh, it's just a like a small candle. How much can this be harmful? But think about the smaller people and creatures in your house that
Well,
it
yeah, and
affects more.
if you light it a lot like I do, like I light candles every night. So you think every single night you're lighting that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting in the air and they're
Yeah.
breathing it, like eventually, that's really going to harm their body, and
Yeah.
have adverse effects. You might not see it until later on, but it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy that those types of candles can still be sold. It's just, I don't
I
know. It's,
know.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. And like I said, when I buy my fragrance oils, they are certified clean. And I look at all the warnings and it's so crazy. So, the
Yeah.
California, I think it's Prop 95 warning. It's so funny that, okay, it's not allowed in California, but it's allowed in other states.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't change what is in it and that there's a
Right.
warning. So, like,
Right.
it's so crazy to me that people will still buy and sell candles with that warning on them. It
Yeah.
just blows my mind. So clearly mine don't have that at all.
Yeah, no, it is wild. So, no, again, thank you for explaining that. I've always been curious and want it explained to me in like a simple way of like trying to
Yeah.
understand it. So, yeah, that's helpful. Last few questions here really and wanted to ask you for those listening who have never bought from you before, what would you recommend they purchase? The scent, the product, it can either be your favorite or the most popular. What would you recommend to a first-time buyer?
Ooh, okay. So I love holiday scents year round. That's me. No judgment. I fully support that. So if you don't know what you'll like, a sample pack would be awesome. So I have my
Mhm.
fall one, I have my winter one. Or you could start with just the 8 ounce and see which ones you like. Or you could do the wax melts. That would be a great start. People love wax melts because there's no flame. So if you have little kids or you have
Yeah.
cats or jumping dogs that you don't want near a flame, that's a great option. You turn it on. It's literally just a lamp light. I bought mine on Amazon, the melter, and you turn it on and leave it. And then your house smells great. So that would be another option too, because it's smaller and you'd get the little paw prints, which are super cute. But my personal favorites are Husky Mountain, which is like a Fraser fir. It smells like a Christmas tree in a jar. That is one of my favorites, like year round. And then pumpkin patch. I love pumpkin pie. I love everything pumpkin. Sorry, it's how I am. So pumpkin patch is another favorite. And then just one original scent, like an OG, is golden lava. So it smells like that famous volcano blue Capri candle that everyone has, and it's not good for you. And theirs doesn't donate. But golden lava, it's all the fruit slices combined, so it's very fruity, but not overpowering. So what people say about my candles is you get enough scent, but it's not so much where you have like a
Yeah.
headache and you're like, oh my gosh, like blow it out. So people really compliment my candles. It's just the right amount of scent, but it's enough
Mhm.
where you smell it. It's like that perfect balance. So golden lava is always a favorite of people. So golden lava, Husky Mountain, and pumpkin patch are my personal favorites. And my husband loves Husky Mountain. That's like absolute favorite. He's obsessed with it. So I mean, if you're like me, I would go with either of those. And then lemon cookie licks is a good one. So I like that in the spring, like after you clean your house. You know that feeling like you have a
Mhm.
fresh clean house, you open the windows and the breeze. Lemon cookie licks is very fresh, but it also has the like vanilla with it. So it's like a Girl Scout cookie put
Ooh,
in a
yeah.
candle. Yeah, like
Nice.
I forget what they keep changing the names on me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the,
I
the
know what
Girl
you're
Scout
talking about.
cookie, that's like the lemon cookie one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and they have different names on like each coast. So West Coast has a different name than East
Yeah,
Coast.
fair.
I never know the actual name, but it smells like a cookie, but fresh and just it's awesome. So that one would be a good one too. If you want to get one for the spring, lemon cookie licks,
Yeah.
great.
Awesome. Great recommendations. Yeah, highly again recommend going to your Instagram and Etsy. And where do you ship? Is it remind us, just in the United States? Is it international?
It is international, and
Okay,
I've shipped
nice.
to Canada before, which is super fun.
Nice.
I was like, oh my
Excellent.
gosh, I got a Canada order.
Yeah, yeah. Congrats on that. I know
Yeah,
shipping is hard. Like it's not as easy as it sounds.
yeah, the
Yeah, that's
label from
awesome.
Canada. I was like, I've never seen this before, but this is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Awesome. Excellent. Well, Kiersten, you know my last question, and perhaps it's the same answer as last time, which is perfectly okay. But what is your proudest accomplishment so far? Just kind of that thing that pops into your head in this moment, proudest accomplishment.
Proudest accomplishment would be balancing this business and my full-time job and
Hmm.
just being able to donate. This was my highest sales I've ever had this holiday season.
Nice.
So I'm
Nice.
just so proud and just really humbled and just thankful for all the people that support this business and just my returning customers and new people that I've met. Like the community is just so awesome. And I'm just so proud of the people and just the community that I've built. And I'm so excited to do this big donation after this holiday season.
Mhm.
I know that it's going to make such a big difference. My last huge donation, I sponsored a dog's heartworm treatment.
Oh, wow.
The Friends of Wake County Animal Shelter, you can give $350 and it'll go towards a dog in the shelter that has heartworms, and you can help fund their heartworm treatment if they get adopted. So that's
Wow.
something that is special to me. And right now, and just public service announcement, the Wake County shelter is really full. They're asking for people even just foster or
Hmm.
share the news, and hopefully that some of these dogs get out of there. But they're
Yeah.
really full right now, and it's just sad. I follow all these rescues, and I'm like, I want to help all of them.
I
Like
know. I
I
know.
can't,
Yeah.
but I want to help.
Yeah.
So just a little PSA, visit the Wake County shelter, walk the dogs, just
Mhm.
help any way you can. It doesn't have to be money. So, and I'm just proud of what I'm able to give back, and that I still kept this business going, in the craziness. And it's been what, since 2018, so
Yeah.
5 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to do the math. 5 years. February 2023 will be 5 years, counting on my fingers,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
I work in education. Yeah, that's embarrassing, but yeah, it's so crazy that I've been doing
Yeah.
this long, and I'm just proud of how far I've come and the impact I've made on the community. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's incredible. And yeah, thank you for spreading the word on those shelters. I mean, even that alone helps, like you said. And congratulations on everything you've accomplished so far. And even just having you back on, like I can hear the increase in confidence in your voice. Like you can hear the growth, just how you're talking about the business, and the passion there has clearly grown as well. So it's just incredible to see. And I hope everyone checks you out. And before we sign off, where can people find you and Rescue Me Candle Co? Instagram, Facebook, shout everything out.
Yeah, so my Instagram is at rescue_me_candle_co. And then my Etsy is etsy.com/shop/rescue me candle co. And on Facebook, it's
Hmm.
at rescue me candle. I think it's rescue me candle co. If you just search rescue me candles, it should pop up. So yeah, so Etsy,
Excellent.
Instagram, and Facebook are the three ways to get in contact. And then my email, if you ever want to email me, it's rescuemecandleco@gmail.com.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, yeah, everyone go check Rescue Me Candle Co out. And Kiersten, thank you so much for being back on and sharing your updates. And of course, you're welcome back on anytime in the future. But thanks so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be back. And hello to all the all the listeners. Thanks for listening.